Alright, so I wanted to do a quick story on how I got pregnant with Slynd. So, and why I stopped using it. Yeah, I got pregnant on Slynd. Alright, so, you know how you miss a couple of days or whatever, and they tell you it's going to take at least 6 months. If you've been taking the saline pill for at least 6 months consecutively, then missing 2 or 3 days should not get you pregnant. Well, no, that wasn't true for me. Wasn't true for me, so I want to let y'all know, you mess around, if you F around, you'll find out, okay? So, I have been, busy between breastfeeding and weaning my 12-month-old and moving back to South Carolina. I just didn't get around to taking my pill like that. So I got back to South Carolina, and push come to shove, your girl was feeling the withdrawal effects. Okay, she was, if you know what I mean, she was a naughty girl, and so I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, oh man, it's been 2 days. I didn't take my pill. I started back taking my pill, and then I reached out to my doctor when I got to South Carolina. About restart my pill. I started my pill back, and my doctor informed me, well, I want you to stop taking your pill. Wait until you have administration to start back consistently taking your pill. I said, okay. She said, you should be fine. It takes at least 6 to 12 months to get out your system. So you should be fine. But sometimes it can happen within at least 3 months. It's not going to come back right away. Okay. She was right because I didn't see anything before. But she wasn't right about it not being in my system, out of my system right away. So, I'm going through the motions, all of a sudden I feel the same symptoms. If you don't know what my 2-week symptoms are, I will link that video down below. Feeling those same exact symptoms. Headache, fatigue, just overall lethargic, just did not, could not get through anything. So I'm like, boobs hurting, all of this type of stuff. I'm like, no, it must be the side effects of the birth control. Okay. Then on top of that, she told me, my doctor, that you might have what's called withdrawal. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is, but basically you spot, okay? And I said, oh, okay, it can mimic. She said it can mimic what your menstruation looks like. Okay. So I had this withdrawal, whatever, what I thought it was. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, well, that was really short and that was really light. I'm sitting waiting and waiting and waiting. Now it's going on 6 weeks. And I'm like, if you wait 6 to 8 weeks, your menstruation is supposed to show up. Mine never did. So, just on an odd whim, I was drinking and my stomach was sick. I mean, I'm talking real sick, okay? I'm like, that's odd. So I decided to take a pregnancy test. I said, you know what, I'm going to just take one, get it out of the way, peace of mind. It turned up with 2 lines. I said, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way. I'm telling you now, ladies, if you decide to skip your Slynd pill, do use another form of protection. It doesn't matter if it's been 1 day, 2 days. Definitely don't go past 72 hours. Okay? But that was my mistake. So I decided in the morning, because the tests that I had were from when my previous pregnancy, which I uploaded that. That's, in my TTC journey from my son. So they're a little old. So I said, you know what? I don't want to mess with old tests. I'm going to go and get some real tests, because it could just be my hormones. They're out of whack. I am going through the withdrawal process. I keep thinking I'm going through the withdrawal process. So I was going through a withdrawal, right? And so I decided to go in the morning and get a digital. And get, not a cheapie, because I had a bunch of cheapies. But, I think, was it a first response? No, it was a Walmart brand first response, okay? So I got a Walmart brand clear blue and a Walmart brand first response. The clear blue is say pregnant and not pregnant. So me and my daughter sneak in the bathroom, my 16-year-old, and we're like, it probably gonna come back negative, right? I take a leak on it, pregnant pops up. Immediately, we both look at each other. Then I turn over, because I took the other test first. I turn over, the 2 lines is prominently there. So I go to my husband, who knew, like, when we were intimate, he was like, you're going to get pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. I looked up the research, baby. We good. So he's like, I already know it says pregnant, don't it? So I think I have a short of that video. I think it's up there somewhere. Of him saying, he's like, I already know it says pregnant. But he looks at it and, because he told me, he was like, you're going to be pregnant. So don't do that, ladies. Do not decide to chance it at all. I would suggest, if that's not in your cards, listen to me. It was only 72 hours. And my doctor looked at my timeline and she said, no, it couldn't be. She did the math herself to check the conception date. And the last day that I had said I had, my Slynd. And she said, yeah, you only missed like maybe 2 or 3 days. Girl, you better not sneeze his way. Yes. And actually, I do have that video of where my doctor said I'm actually 6 weeks and not 8 weeks. That is because what I thought was a withdrawal spotting was actually implantation. The first time I had what I thought was a withdrawal spotting, because after 2 or 3 days, well, after your third day of missing Slynd, you can have what's called a withdrawal. So I mistaken that for my period. She informed me that I did not, in fact, get my period. That I ovulated first, which we do. And then the second time, what I thought was a withdrawal bleed again. You heard me, again, was in fact the withdrawal, was in fact the implantation. So I went from withdrawal bleed, and that happened, I think, the second day, to ovulating. Like I said, the third day I was a nasty girl. And then I went to implantation 2 weeks later. So that's why you see the video says I was in fact 6 weeks and not 8 weeks. I had thought I was 8 weeks because, child, that test was prominent, okay? After 3 weeks and 6 days, okay, just pregnant. So I'm gonna tell you, ladies, do not miss the Slynd. Don't do it. Now, unless you want to be carrying that baby in about 9 more months. But you can do it. Just make sure you use I didn't use the proper things, because I'm married. And my husband told me that that was going to happen. But we're married. So he was like, he was in the moment, I was in the moment, and we needed that moment to complete. So we took the chances and we got what we got. You get what you get, and you don't make a fit, and we didn't. So that's my only advice to y'all. I told y'all in my 6-month Slynd update, you have to take your pill consistently. Take it from me. I'm telling you, my doctor said, yeah, you only missed maybe 2 or 3 days based on conception day. Based on your hormones. Like, they can check your blood work and everything. Based on your hormones, she said as soon as you hit, I would say about 48 hours, your body went into hyper-ovulation. So, yeah. And that's how I got pregnant actively. I took it consistently while on Slynd. Then I asked her, I said, because remember I told y'all in this video, I said, what happened when I started back taking it? No, nothing. Nothing happened. My baby's perfectly fine. She's healthy. She's thriving. So, I mean, that's for the women who accidentally take it and you might find out that you're pregnant. Nothing happens to your baby. From my experience. Now, I don't know if you take it consistently for 3 months and you find out that you're 3 months pregnant. I don't know. But I know in my situation, I took it that following day, and then I think like 3 days after. And I made a call into my doctor to see, because, I had been, and she was like, well, since you've been active, during those missed days, I want you to stop and continue once you get a full cycle. And I never got it. So that is my advice to you guys. That was my story time. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.